Each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamie and Genty Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.
Hey, welcome to Beyond the Game podcast on Fishbowl Radio. My name is Jamie. Welcome. It's Tuesday, October 3rd. Welcome to the third day in October, everyone. Now, October is always a very special month. It's always a very special month because there's a lot going on. And in 9 days will be my birthday. So October 12th will be my birthday. So there you go. There was games this weekend, but also there's a weekend that I have. So let me tell you something about me. I always want to schedule stuff with the ending. Like I don't like when people put out like you get invited to an event and you don't know when it's over, right? Granted, you don't want to be late to the event, but at the same time, you got to put an end date to the event. Like, let's say it's from 6 to 9 or 7 to 10 or 7 to 11. So right after I got off work Saturday night, right? So I work I work from 8 to 7, okay, Saturday. I got off 7 o'clock Saturday. I didn't get home till like at least maybe about 8:30 because I stopped for something, and I said, let me stop to get something. Let me get a snack, and I got a snack, and so I said, I wanted to try to rest before this event, and I did. I wanted to get at least 30 minutes because when the event I wanted to go to, it just says 7 o'clock. It didn't give no end date and all that. And I did my research before I went to the event. So the event was at Chicken and Pickle in Grand Prairie. And they're open till midnight. Okay. Now, this event was there, but yet it's like I saw the flyer. I signed up. I got my tickets. It started at 7. I told them I can't be there by 7 because I'm at work during that time. Hold on one second. I don't know why this is going off. Sorry, y'all. But anyways, so I want to see now if I had a decent schedule, then yes, I will be there. But this is good enough. I've been working from 8 to 7 since 2020. What's the problem? The problem is that people don't put an end date on there. The problem was me. I just wanted to rest for like 30 minutes before going to the event because you're dealing with professional people at this event. You don't want to look drowsy. You don't want to look lethargic. You want to look pitch perfect. You don't want to have any excuses. You don't want to have any personal excuses of why you showed up here. You don't want that at all. And so, with that being said, I did what I did. Okay. I said way before the event, I'll be there by 9 or 9:30 or whatever. It was okay. It's okay. Then it got to Saturday. And then it got to 8:30. I wanted to rest. I didn't get to rest. So I said, okay, there was no response. But there was a group chat on Facebook that said that, hey, are you coming? They asked me if I was coming. And I said, yes, I'm coming. I was fully dressed. I was coming. I turned on the TV and I see Notre Dame and Duke playing. Close game. I thought I had enough time to watch it. Just for like 30 minutes. So I watched it for 30 minutes. And then 5 minutes later, I get a text message saying, hey, everybody's about to leave next time. Okay, so I got dressed. You're telling me if I would have gone there by 10 o'clock, I would have missed everyone. So I understand you don't have to cater to my standards. But it's partially my fault, and there was it's theirs as well, because I always want an end date. Like, if you're going to be there from 7 to 10, fine. Okay, let me get off at 7, and then let me not stop anywhere and go to the place all lethargic and shit while meeting professional people. Because you never know. They may want to sponsor this podcast. So I got to look my best. I got to be presentable, as they say in this world. So if you want me to do that next time, then I will do that next time. It won't look great, but I'll do that next time. I'm sorry that I work. That you know, I value a part-time job versus networking. But it's what I live in right now. Maybe in a few days, few weeks, a month or two, it will change. Then I'll have all the time in the world to meet everybody, to be at events that people want me to go to, that should provide value. Should provide value. Don't make me drive from my place to wherever you want me at and give me nothing. Nothing in return. It has to be valued. If you're going to say next time, valued. But then again, you know, I don't, I blame myself, but I blame them for not giving me the end date. Well, I'm sorry, not even an end date. Like, not even the end time. Sorry, the end time. Not even the end time. I'm just saying, like, what is next time? What can you go further? Because this is a professional environment. Can you go further? Can you say, hey, we're having this event October 19th. Can you come? That's what I always envision. When people don't make it to a place, there is a next time, but there has to be a next date. What is the next event? Is the event tomorrow? Is the event a month from now? Give me that communication so that I can go and prepare properly for it. And that way, when I don't want to receive the event 7 days earlier, and try to prepare for 7 days worth of events or less than that. I want to prepare from now to that next event. Could be 3 weeks, could be a month from now. That's my whole spiel of the weekend. Then obviously Sunday was a slow day. I really didn't do much. I was really upset about Saturday because, again, I was in my home dressed. I was ready. I was ready to go. And then I get that message. I said I just locked all the doors and just called it a night. I was hungry. So I said, the next best thing is to eat and just stay in your home and do what you got to do. That's what I did. Now, this won't happen again. Any event that I go to. Now, the Cowboys. Speaking of the Cowboys, they came back. Are we back? Now, let me tell you something about Mac Jones and the New England Patriots. I listened to their post-game show. It was on YouTube, obviously. Visual YouTube, obviously. And right now, they're panicking. I forgot to bring up Bill Belichick's press conferences after the game. He basically said nothing. He basically, he was asked the question of Mac Jones being replaced for the next game, he basically just said very little, like the typical Belichick has. But Mac Jones, this guy cannot be your quarterback for the future, for New England. The way he prepares for a game is horrible. It's horrible. It just sucks how I had him ranked number 3 in my breakout list when I did that in August. Please go listen to that. So I didn't know Mac Jones was this horrible when I looked at the tape. Like, granted, 12 for 21 for 150 and 2 interceptions. It's not good numbers. It's not a great day in the office for Mac Jones. Now, if I'm New England and I'm looking at the whole entire season, I know it's early. I know we're in week 4. If I'm looking at my games, I'm looking at the division right now, the AFC East right now, okay, which is dominated by the Bills and the Dolphins. I'm looking at my team at 1-3. I'm saying to myself, do I replace Mac Jones right now? Because the next quarterback ain't better. And so now, in New England, you have a quarterback problem. This problem may last till the end of the season. Heck, you might have to draft a quarterback. And that would set you back many, many years. But Mac Jones was supposed to be the savior to Tom Brady, and Mac Jones hasn't done nothing. He's played horrible. He's garbage. He sucks. What else? What can I say? I thought he'd be better than. I thought he'll be a little bit better. But then again, you know, that's who y'all want as your franchise leader. No one's going to be honest these days. They're not going to say, hey, you know, hey, we don't want Zach Wilson. We don't want Mac Jones as our quarterback. We want this guy. And maybe they're talking about Bailey Zappi. But I don't know. I'm not a New England fan. I don't live there. I don't care for them. I was there in the days where Tom Brady dominated the AFC East, dominated the Patriots. And now Mac Jones is supposed to replace that. It's not going to work out. Now, he has a 64 completion percentage, and I'm like, well, you might want to get that to 70. Just I'm hard as Mac Jones as I am. I'm hard on Dak as well. I want Dak to hit 70% of his passes. I want him to do that. Don't call me. Don't say, hey, you know, he's not that quarterback. He can't hit. He can't hit something. He can't hit open receivers. He can't do anything like that. He can't look left to right to the middle. I don't want to hear that. I want Dak Prescott to hit 70% of his passes throughout his whole entire career. Whoever, I mean, how many years is that left? I have no idea. But, you know, I always get on these quarterbacks. I always get on quarterbacks that I list on my list. I expect them to be great. I expect them to be great. Be better than this. And Mac Jones was horrible. But Dak Prescott was great this game. 28 for 34, 2 for 661, and a touchdown. Now, this man will always take the blame for the red zone, not completing passes in the red zone. Now, I want to hear from this dumbass. This dumbass is Robert. He called in, not to this show, but he called in to the postgame show on Sunday. And I want to call out not just him, but one other person that I talked to as well. Let's play that clip, please.
Is gone. All right, let's go to Robert in Hal. Robert, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you guys? How you guys doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
So my question is, are we ready to admit that Dak is just not our championship quarterback? Great game, but 14 points in the red zone. When coming into this game, we had 60-plus plays in the red zone.
Cole, he's my miracle child.
Yeah, you blame. So you're going to throw it all on the quarterback on this one, then, right? Is that what we're going to do?
Yes, great quarterbacks do not take opportunities in the red zone and waste them.
Do you get to – I'm just going to ask you a question. Are you an all-22 guy? Do you NFL.com? You that guy? Or are you just watching eyeball test of a game from a TV perspective?
Well, I watch from every game this week, or every game every week, and I
So,
see
but
what
you
the great
don't look at
quarterbacks
the
do.
all-22 stuff at all? I'm not trying to rip on you or anything like that, but you don't watch that is what you're telling me, right?
No, because I don't care about overall stats.
It's
because
not
that
stats.
doesn't-
It's not stats. When you watch all 22, it gives you a picture of why something works and why something doesn't work. It keeps you from just throwing out there that your quarterback's not any good. That's what it does. It teaches you and gives you vision to maybe make a little bit. Again, that's your opinion about Dak. But if you watch the all-22, you will figure out some things why they're struggling down in the red zone. And it ain't all on number 4. And has number 4 not been great at sometimes? Sure, absolutely. Wasn't good on that interception he threw in the Arizona game the other day. He's got to, every time I've told you this, I've been real consistent about that. His interceptions when he doesn't see the defender, those are the ones that you should be nervous about. But you just threw a blanket statement, and I'm kind of feeling like you're working on mysteries without any clues, an old Bob Seger song,
Yeah, I know the song, but
yeah, it's
I've
a good
got
song
plenty of clues. The last 8 years we've had Dak. Where have we gone? Absolutely nowhere.
Okay,
besides
okay,
Sac
you're
City
blaming. Okay,
and
you
Suck
just don't
City.
like Dak, right? Now admit that to me, and I'll feel a lot better about you.
Well,
You don't like the
I've
quarterback.
admitted this to you numerous times. I'm the same guy that calls in each week.
Oh, sure.
Surprised about
And that's
Dak.
what I'm saying. Yeah, but you know what, like I say, but I'm asking you to study to try and learn a little bit more about the quarterback, and you just want to call in and say, well, I watched the game, but you do have the opportunity if you want to go watch the all-22 and maybe think a little bit different about him or stretch your opinion to where you're actually like, hey, Brian, let me tell you why I don't like this quarterback, instead of just, randomly throw something up against the wall.
Without you bringing any stats or anything like that.
I'm not bringing any stats at all.
Zero
I'm not bringing
championships
any
under
stats
Dak.
at all.
Crushy doesn't like the stats.
I am not an analytics dude.
Not into that.
Not at all.
Zero rings under Dak. 0 championships
Okay.
under Dak.
All right. Sure. Yeah. Okay. That's true.
No, I appreciate the call, Robert, and he speaks for a large portion of the fan base. Today, though.
So, anyways, thank you. So, anyways, that was dumbass Robert. Called in last week, well, Sunday, talking about Dak, blaming Dak for the red zone issues. Okay, let me say this about this idiot. You just watched the game. You woke up Sunday morning finding there was hate in your heart. You had to hate on somebody. Unfortunately, it was number 4. Why you got to hate on him? Why can't you hate on someone that made you mad the night before? Somebody made you mad, and then you wake up, you watch the game, and then you see some odd things in the red zone where Dak and Pollard ran into each other. Then you saw Brandon Aubrey who hit a field goal. You saw that, but yet it's like you don't address the issue of the problem. You don't address your issue, and that's personal issue. I don't know you personally. Maybe you're the same person that I talked to on the chat when they were doing their product. Yes, I was there. I was there on Sunday. I was there on the chat talking to you, possibly talking to you. I don't know. There were too many Roberts. But I said that give the men a break. Not every game you have to blame Dak for the issues. Like last week, we gave up 28 points to a sorry Arizona Cardinals team. That's not on Dak. Dak made one mistake. He was part of the blame, of course. But he's not the entire blame. We gave up 400-plus yards to a Cardinals team that has nothing on offense. Like, name me one offensive person. I gave you one, Joshua Dobbs, who I favor is better than Kyler Murray. Yes, I said it. Joshua Dobbs is better than Kyler Murray. And if any of your friends says otherwise, they need to come see me. So that was stupid, Robert. You need to stop watching Cowboys football if you hate Dak. If you hate Dak, fine. Just like I hated Tom Brady for the longest time because he won a lot of games. And I hate the fact that he was being loved by the media. And I turned the TV off. I said, you know what? I had enough. Just like right now, I don't hate Taylor Swift. I hate the fact that the media is taking it to a new level. I hate the fact that whenever Travis Kelce makes a catch or a Chiefs score a touchdown, she has to be shown on screen celebrating with her friends. It's not fair to us, to the viewing audience. I'm not trying to bash Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift. It's not fair to football fans to have the camera redirected towards her. She can't be the main product. I mean, she's great in what she does. She makes a bunch of songs. I listen to a bunch of. She's fabulous. She's phenomenal. But she cannot be all of what the NFL and these other people are watching for. These people don't care about football at all. They care about Taylor Swift being in the stands with her friends, celebrating a touchdown, possibly by Travis Kelce or somebody else on the Chiefs. That's what annoys me. So, Robert, you're annoying. You need to stop watching. Just like I might have to transition and stop watching Chiefs games because I'm tired. I don't like these networks putting the camera on Taylor Swift. It's taking away the game. Like, people like myself want to know more. I know a lot, but I want to expand my knowledge. I can't expand it by seeing a running game or Travis Kelce catching a ball and having her or anybody else seeing it for the first time. Like in NBA games, they show one person. They show all the fans. They show the celebrities once. They name them out once. That's it. That is it. So, Dak, I don't know how you galvanize this criticism. I just don't get it. And you have thicker skin than me. Because I would harsh back. I would fight back for me. Number 2, Ezekiel Elliott. Now, Zeke, I didn't have tears seeing him because I don't have, like I said, I don't have tears. I don't have tears anymore. I have what could have been, Zeke got released in the offseason. He goes to the Patriots. He's not used properly, guys. I feel like I felt like I'll see the old Zeke. Zeke get like 100 yards. Zeke get hitting the holes hard. I feel like I wanted to see that, but I didn't see it on Sunday because the Patriots were so down into the playbook that they made Mac Jones throw at least 20-plus times. And they were inconsistent in the running game. They valued Stevenson more than Zeke Elliott, which I don't know. I don't know. But I don't run their offense, though. But I do love Zeke. I love what he did for the Cowboys. And in order to tribute, we always play tributes to athletes on this show. So let's play a tribute to Zeke Elliott, please. Well, actually, you know what? There wasn't a tribute to Zeke Elliott. I put that on my page. But here's what he said before the Dallas Cowboys matchup. Let's play that clip, please.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's cool going back to Dallas. I spent a lot of time there. It's a lot of great times there, but I mean, I think you got to keep the main thing, and that's, going out there, getting better as a team and going out there and get another win. I mean, I keep saying it. It's just another week for me. Not going to make it bigger than what it is. I want to go out there, play Patriot football. I want to go out there. We want to get better. We want to get a win. It's just the next stop on our 17-game journey. So.
All right. So that's from Zeke Elliott. That was before the matchup. I just feel like at some point, if this run game does not work out, Zeke Elliott, I don't know, may have to come back. I don't know if he's available at the time, but we'll see. We will see what happens. Number 3, the Cowboys defense. Turnovers turned into TDs. Late defenders had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. And also, Deron Bland had his best game of the year. He had 2 interceptions, but 1 was a touchdown. So, to me, after giving up 400 yards last week, they took it personally during the week. They went back to the basics, and they said, you know what? We're a better defense. We are a better defense than the NFC East could have done. The Eagles may say the Eagles and the Commanders may say otherwise, possibly the Giants, but they're having issues with their quarterback, which is why they don't focus on the defense in New York versus their defense. But me personally, I do think we have the best defense in the entire league. I do think so. And Deron Bland has to say. Let's hear a clip from Deron Bland, please.
Walk us through that 54-yard pick six.
Man, he got an early one across the field, so I couldn't let him do that again. So, and then I seen open field when I got the ball. It's like nobody's catching me from here.
Yeah.
Last year you got your opportunity because Jordan went down. This year Trayvon goes down. You get a second opportunity. Just what have you done to make sure that you're ready for whenever these opportunities come?
I always try to stay on top of my technique, and then this time knowing I had to step up again. I've already done that part before, so.
Is there a big adjustment inside to outside?
Not too much.
Knowing how much Trayvon means to this defense,
Yes.
what does it mean to you to be able to step up like you have?
I mean, it got to be another playmaker. We lost one playmaker, so. But it could be it could easily be one of our days. Sorry.
8 interceptions for you in 21 NFL games. When you think about your football journey, what is that like?
Definitely exciting. It's definitely more than I got in college, so I'm happy right now. I mean, I'm expecting myself to make plays. That's what I would say.
It felt like you guys, didn't respect your ability to go over the top of you, but it seemed like you guys squatted on a lot of routes today. Was that sort of the thought coming in, is that these guys likely aren't going to run past us?
No, it was just what we seen on film, but it was just, we were just trying to make plays out there.
When Trayvon went down.
Yeah, last game it was not our game, and then the whole week we were just talking about how we're going to prove ourselves again, and then today we try to do that, and they got to do it again next week.
Deron, when Trayvon went down, there was concern amongst Cowboys fans about what is this going to mean for the defense. You've answered that question in a pretty profound way, certainly today anyway. What's your message to Cowboys fans about your ability to lock down that position and make sure everything still works for this defense?
I mean, all I got to do is say, stay ready. That's all I want to say.
Deron, also for you, it seems like you have a knack for the end zone. What is it after you catch the ball? What's your mindset?
Oh, I'm trying to score. Nothing else. I'm trying to score. That's my one chance to get the ball, act like a receiver, or I'll try to score.
You guys have a lot of confidence as a defense. To be able to essentially knock a starting quarterback out of the game, starting performance, do you take pride in that?
Oh, definitely. you don't always get that chance to knock off a quarterback like that, but so once you get able to have that chance, it's fun. You're excited.
Okay, so you heard from Deron Bland. Very excited times for the young dude. He's going to be a problem. I feel like he's going to be a problem for anybody that wants to throw his way, I feel like he's going to be right there getting another interception. Right there where Trayvon Diggs was is supposed to be, but he, obviously the injury happened. But we don't have to get too much into that. But DaRon Bland is here to stay. He's here to stay. And he will not get exposed. Well, maybe he will, but I do think he will recover. But nonetheless, congrats to DaRon Bland. Well deserved. 2 interceptions. Reading the quarterback in his eyes. Mac Jones is terrible, so that's that. Number 4, red zone issues. Now 1 for 4. We already talked about what needs to happen in the red zone. They went 1 for 4, and this is a stat that I did not know. I did not know that the red zone starts from the 1-yard line to the 19-yard line. So I think everybody knew from last week where the red zone started. So we're over here trying to question ourselves, how can we fix the red zone offense? Do they need to run some screens? Do they need to read the defense? It's tough. I view it as tough. I mean, if they can get it fixed, of course, it'll be great. But it's tough. You got to read what the defense is giving you. Like, if they're not giving you much, then granted, then it's not there. It's not there. I understand the complaint, but there's plays where you can. It's not bad going for a field goal. It's not bad at all. Like later in the year, I would say if we play, teams that can really score, then yes, I'll be concerned because I'm like, okay, we're in the red zone. We're supposed to capitalize on it. But that's right now. Well, no, I'm sorry. That's later in the year. Right now, I'm okay with it. I'm okay not scoring in the red zone. I'm okay with it. I just want to be creative when we get down there. I don't want the same over the middle passes to the tight end or the 1-for-1, the man to man, like they're over the top. CeeDee Lamb has to fight because CeeDee Lamb fought on the 20-plus yard touchdown pass. Finally. But but when it's in the red zone, I'm not going to he can prove me wrong. I'm not going to bait on him fighting for that ball when it gets into the red zone. And I'm talking about CeeDee Lamb. Maybe Gallup, maybe Brandon Cooks, maybe the tight end, but they're not going to line the tight end up in the slot when they get to the red zone. I would not think that. I would think they will line up the tight end on the line of scrimmage, and that way maybe you run a crossing route with the tight end, the athletic tight ends that we have, or maybe you just sit in the zone. So with that being said, I'm okay with it, and I'm also okay with Brandon Aubrey. He's went 13 for 13 so far. Good. Through 4 games. Great. Yeah, when I told y'all I don't care about the kicker, I was concerned. I was concerned because it wasn't good enough. What the kicker gave me last year, Bate Maher, wasn't good enough. Now, I can trust him. Now I can trust that Brandon Aubrey, who can give me the kick and all that stuff. And so, so he can give me the kick. He can give me those things. So I trust him. Shooting me, I can't pronounce his name. It's going to be the rookie tight end from Michigan. I can't pronounce his name. Scooby should have had that catch. Okay. Play calling has to be changed in the line of scrimmage. That's why Dak and Pollard ran into each other. Because Dak went ahead, changed the play call at the line of scrimmage, saw something, changed it, and then, you got 2 guys running into each other. So, that needs to be fixed. Now, the 49ers are next. The 49ers will expose you guys. They will expose you. If you don't fix the red zone problems now. Try to find decent play calling. Like I said, I don't care. I'm not concerned. But I am concerned. I'm not concerned right now. If we can get like 3 points every single time in the red zone right now. Against this team, you cannot, because this team doesn't score a lot of points. If I'm looking at the scores right. Doesn't score a lot of points, but they play great defense. And I do think that if, Broadus is going to have his scouting report tomorrow and Thursday, I'm interested to hear and see what he says about it. I'm pretty sure one of those conversations will be Brock Purdy has to beat you. And that means Brock Purdy has to throw the ball 20 to 30 times. He hasn't done that. He hasn't done that because you have Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel dominating that offense. So if you make Brock Purdy beat you, you're in great shape. You are in phenomenal shape if you allow Brock Purdy to beat you. If Brock Purdy throws more than 20 to 30 passes, you are in great shape. You get pressure on him because he's not used to the pressure. You got Trent Williams right side on the line. You're not getting past Trent Williams. You're not getting past Trent Williams. I don't know. I would discuss all the offensive lines on offensive line on that side. On my social medias, but I'm going to figure out a way to do a podcast during the week and give y'all some more previews on it. But anyways, that's the thing. That's my only question will be: Can we score? Can we score 20 points in this game? Against a great 49ers defense. Can we score 20 points a game? The last two times we have played against them, we have not scored 20 points. We have scored 17 and 12. And we're averaging 14 points against them because they had the elite defense, and they haven't dropped off. So I'm not concerned that we're not going to score in the red zone, but we got to be creative when we get there. Now, my final take is Dallas 38, New England 33. You gave Bill Belichick the worst loss in his career. Jake Ferguson has 7 catches for 77 yards, and Michael Gallup 5 for 60. So look at this. Look at this. So now we got some playmakers on offense. We just got to figure out a way to get them the ball in the red zone. Michael Gallup is back, in my eyes. He's back. He may took it a drop off, but he got his game going. He's back. He's good to go. I'm anxious to see what happens next. I'm anxious to see if he can take that game to his next level. If he can be consistent, productive in the next games or so. So I'm anxious to see that. I'm also interested to see if Zach Martin is going to play or Michael Parsons, because both of those guys suffered ankle injuries. So I'm a little concerned about that. I'm concerned because we need Michael Parsons in this game against the 49ers. If not, our pressure won't be that bad. Our pressure won't be that bad. I value Dante Fowler and Osa to get the pressure. I know Michael Parsons is big on that, but it won't be a drop-off if Micah misses a game or two. And I know he won't miss this game. This is a primetime game. He won't miss this one. And so we just got to see what happens with the 49ers game. And, I'm a little nervous, like I said, but who knows? Now, enough with my Cowboys talk. That's it. We're just got to see what happens. I want to talk about what I want to talk about, the WNBA. Now the WNBA is almost over. Oh, next song. You got the final setup now. You got the finals between the Liberty and the Aces. Okay. Now I'm going to give you some key points that y'all need to watch out for Game 1. Now Game 1's on Sunday at 2:00 on ABC. So is that? No, the Cowboys play at 7:00 that night. Okay, that's good. Good, because I thought I had to not only record that game. I thought it was on the same time as NFL football. Maybe you will not watch the game. I will because I always want to talk about it. I always want to talk about the WNBA on my podcast. And so the Liberty come in here after beating the Sun in 4 games. So now I'm gonna give you some talking points the Liberty need to do against the Aces in this Game 1. This is Game 1 only. I'm not talking about the whole entire series. I can give you everything that needs to happen in the entire series. But this is Game 1 only. Johannes has to score. Johannes had an awful series against the Sun. She wasn't valuable because of what the Sun were rolling out. And the starters were playing well. The starters every game were getting 30-plus minutes from Jacquel, Sabrina, Brianna, Benaje, and Courtney. They're all getting 30-plus minutes. And they weren't fouling a lot because I think the officials in the WNBA were allowing some form of play, which I liked. So Johannes has to score. She is needed in this series. I don't think the Aces can guard her. Like, I remember a game, right? I said this. I said anytime Johannes is lacking on behind the play, and I talk about lacking because she's logging gagging down the court, then that three-pointer is going to go up, and she's going to hit it every single time. That's what happened again in the Commissioner Cup game. That's what happened. And that's what's happened. That's what's happened the other time that they face each other. Because anytime that she comes off, lollygagging down the court, and the Aces did not count for her, that 3-pointer is going to go up, and she's going to make it every single time. It's on rhythm for her. It's rhythm. Just like Anescu. Anescu has rhythm to come off the screen and shoot a 3-pointer. To come off a ball screen and shoot a 3-pointer. Because y'all don't help. The Sun did it. They did it. They did their best. I don't know why it wasn't consistent enough. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be consistent. Now, granted, the Sun were dealing with a short bench. They didn't have enough players. The Aces do. The Aces have enough players to the point where fatigue is not a factor. But anytime Sabrina or Johannes, they're two different players. Sabrina comes off balls against to shoot a 3-pointer versus Johannes. I hope I pronounced her name correct. Is gagging behind the play, and once she gets it from either the corner or from the top of the key or from the wing, that 3 is going to go up. Be physical with Wilson. And I harped this. It took the Wings the last game of the series to throw Wilson around. Why? I have no idea. You have 2.5 legitimate centers that could throw Wilson around. But yet, y'all wait to game 3 to do that. And I'm talking about the Dallas Wings. I said it. I said, y'all need to be physical with Wilson, which they did. You waited till that long to say, you know what? We got to throw her off her game. We got to make her feel us. We got to make McCowan throw her to the ground and make her ineffective. You wait till game 3 to do that, or else you'll be playing right now. You'll be playing, well, not necessarily playing right now, but this game, this probably would have been a 4 or 5 game series if the Wings would have fought. My prediction. I said it. I said they need to be physical with Wilson. Why don't they listen to me? I know this place will listen to me. Boxing 1 to Chelsea Gray. If nothing else, if the Liberty are not going to be physical with Wilson, Boxing 1 was Chelsea Gray. I know it's tough to do. I know. I understand. I know Wilson takes a grind, takes a toll. I know that they don't. The Liberty's depth is needed in this series because you got to be able to defend Wilson, and you got to be able to defend Chelsea Gray. I know I say Plum, but you got to be able to defend Chelsea Gray too, because I feel like if you throw Wilson off her game, Chelsea Gray is going to be the one trying to create her own shots. And I feel like Lanny is going to be the one guarding her, not Inescu. You got to save Inescu's offense, her energy for offense. She's not going to play any defense. Neither is Courtney Vandersloot. Now, here's the thing. They may throw Kayla Dorton in there at play. So I envision Kayla Dorton coming in, playing number 2, moving Inescu number 3. They're probably going to get. Well, actually, you know what? They may put Inescu at the 1, and Kayla Dorton. It's going to be out of sorts because they're going to put Lanny at number 2. Number 3 will be Kayla Dorton. So they're going to probably put Kayla Dorton whenever she comes on with the game on Chelsea Gray. Shows different looks because Kayla Dorton can play both positions. She can play down low. She can guard the perimeter. So I feel like Kayla Dorton's defense is needed for the Liberty to win this series. But I feel like Johannes will come in on the offensive end, will play the off guard. So those two players, Johannes and Thornton, those are the two players I'm looking for if the Liberty want to win the championship. Now, my other thing is on offense is you got Jacquel Jones. Now you saw, if anybody watched Game 4, you saw that Jacquel Jones was throwing DeWanna Bonner around. The only reason why is because you didn't have Brianna Jones in there. You didn't have her in there. And like I said, I'm always going to criticize the Suns' usage depth. I don't know where Olivia Nilsson-Ododa was. Well, then again, it wouldn't be a factor. They need to address the center position in the draft or in free agency. Because if you talk about Brianna Jones coming back from a torn ACL or a torn Achilles, I think it's a torn Achilles, then I'm talking about late 2024 for her return. But I could be wrong. She could come back earlier or the offseason. But her presence was needed in this series. You can't have Bonner being rolled around in that series by Jacquel Jones. Stephanie White had no choice. She had no choice. She wanted to get Alyssa Thomas, but Alyssa Thomas is dealing with a shoulder injury. The type of players that you have on that team is not really the type of players. Well, it's to her liking, but then again, you gotta address the other side. You gotta address that y'all got outmanned in the series by Jacquel Jones. Fast break points and defensive stops win this series for the Liberty. So the Liberty don't like to run a lot, but I feel like if Inescu or Johannes are running the wings, don't forget Bernaje and Lanny coming off too, because people tend to forget Bernaje and Lanny. They forget Bernaje and Lanny that she is a ball player. They always eye on Inescu and Jones and Stewart. Those are the three, but they forget Lanny. That's why I said this. I said Lanny is going to be your dark horse. She is going to be your dark horse, and that she is. So let's play a clip from Breanna Stewart. This is her championship. This is her MVP type of thing, type of video, all this stuff. I only do this because I want to give the ultimate respect that Breanna Stewart should get. So let's play that clip, please.
From the blacktops of Rucker Park to the hardwood in Barclays Center, Everything on the court is earned, especially in New York.
Welcome, everyone, to the New York Liberty Cornerstone franchise of the Women's NBA.
In 1997, our story began with an opportunity to blaze a path. Today, it continues right here in Brooklyn with Stewart, York City.
So today we officially welcome Breanna Stewart.
Hello, Brooklyn! A baller whose reputation precedes herself, opening her New York chapter with 45 points.
Breanna Stewart through the contact. A historic performance from Breanna Stewart.
Six-time Player of the Week, AP Player of the Year, bucket
to Stewart. Stewart's three.
After bucket.
Stewart dials it up, gets it to go.
After bucket.
Stewart fading.
Number 30 reminds us that when you dedicate yourself to the game and pour your soul into the process, there will always be love for you. She's showing the next generation of hoopers how it's done, how in this city, what you give is what you get. Nothing more, nothing less.
And Stewart doing it all. That is what makes her special.
From the Bronx, Staten Island, Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn. New York, she's home. She's her. She's Breanna Stewart, the first WNBA MVP in New York Liberty history.
Breanna threw her flowers. So, but on to the aces now. This is extra motivation for Wilson. Wilson didn't win the MVP. You know, I was furious. Even last week, even Angela saw me furious because I thought that, you know, Wilson deserved that. It wasn't stolen. It's just that we got younger viewers. I'm sorry, we got younger voters that watched the WNBA for less than 2 years are voting on this crap. But anyways, this is extra motivation for Wilson. I know she didn't need it, but I know she doesn't need it, but you know damn well that she needs it. You know damn well that is personal to her. Winning a second straight MVP award was personal to her. So, with that being said, this is extra motivation. I think, and her teammates are going to rally around her, and they're going to play their best. Plum and Gray must show their work early. They got to show up to work early. You can't show up to work in game 3. Well, sorry, you can't show up to work half of game 2, and now there's a problem. You got to show up to work early. That means you got to score 10 points off the game. And I trust Chelsea Gray to get that versus Kelsey Plum right now. Because Kelsey Plum's playing the game too fast. She's not letting the shots come to her. Like, she shoots them off on rhythm. She has struggled. I honestly think she has struggled. She has struggled. Kelsey Plum, this is the game for her. This is the series for her to come out of that slump. And once she comes out of that slump, watch out. Young and Clark. Now remember what I said. I said Johannes and Thornton will be key players to win this series. Jackie Young and Alicia Clark are the factors to this series. Now, I say this because Alicia Clark comes in, is probably going to defend at least 1 through 4. Maybe defend Breanna Stewart. Definitely going to defend Ionescu and Breanna. That's a lot to ask for. But I trust Clark to do that. And I also was young when they double Wilson, when they tried to box and one Chelsea Gray, with Kelsey Plum's not getting her game right, or in foul trouble, they're going to depend on Jackie Young to come through. Now, Jackie Young doesn't have the moves, but Jackie Young, I feel like, is a spot-up shooter. I feel like in transition, she can come in and pull up a jump shot and make it. That's how I feel. I feel that way because she can do that. And, you know, we know what the Liberty are going to do. The Liberty are going to run their man defense, and they're not going to account for Young, and she's going to torch them. She hasn't done it lately because every focus around it is going to be tend to focus on Wilson or Gray or Plum. So, like I said, man-to-man defense from the Liberty. The Liberty don't play in any zone. I feel like the Liberty have the depth as far as man goes because they really don't foul a lot. They really don't. And I never seen the Liberty play zone. I know that Brondella's teams don't play zone. I'm not sure they don't believe in it, but I know in the fact that their man-to-man defense is effective, and it keeps players fresh for them. I do want to see Stephanie Dolson this series. Speaking of that, I want to see her more in this series. I feel like she can provide value. Not scoring, but on her defense. I know she's not the quickest player on the court right now, but I do think that if Jacquel gets a little tired, I do want to see Dolson play a little bit more than 6 minutes. I'm just asking. Again, what the Sun did is that they were able to jump the ball screen on Ionescu. So that means they had Ododo or Bonner go out on the ball screen. So basically, they were just playing rotating defense. You got to be able to communicate that. So if you're going to go with Ionescu, double Ionescu, basically double team Ionescu, then you got to be able to communicate on the back end. You got to be able to trust the next person to get to your person so that nothing is lost. So I do think the Aces do have that trust. If not, Becky Hammond calls a timeout and reinserts them into that trust, into those screens. That communication on defense is key. Now, my overall key is shooting percentage and home court advantage. Home court advantage and shooting percentage for the Aces win this series. So the Aces get the first two at home, right? Okay. Go up 2-0. I know it's going to be a hard-fought, physical first two games at home. But you got to shoot well. So that means against Dallas, it was less than 30%. It was just one game. You can shoot 50 plus percent. But the Liberty, their defense is so effective that it's going to be tough. So you got to find a way to get your shooting percentage up. You got to find a way. And I do think the Aces do have that way. Now that is my picks. That is my that is my prediction on the series. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say Aces in 4. I'm going to say Aces in 4. They take the series in 4 games. I do think the Aces will grab one on the road. It'll be the last one. But I do think the Liberty will grab at least, if it's tie 1-1 Liberty. If the Liberty grab one in at home, I feel like the overall, in my mind, it would transition to the era would transition to the Liberty. If it's tied 1-1. Now, if it's tied 2-0, obviously, there's still another series to be played, and so I do think Liberty will get Game 3, but I also do think the Aces will finish it at Game 4. But if the Liberty grab 2, anybody that grabs 2 games is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But with this matchup, I do either see going 4 games or the full 5, which you might as well just go 7 at this point, because this is the 2 teams that are going to be with us for maybe the next 2 to 3 years, including this year. Because I don't see any other team that's coming up right now. all good for the regular season. Now, guys, coming up next, that's it for our WNBA talk. Now, coming up next, let's talk some college football. Let's talk about Texas versus OU. And also, should Texas be number one after this game, after this win? And what I think about the North Texas defense. Let's talk about that on the other side. It's Officials Radio's Beyond the Game.
Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for our Stressed and Sexy support group. Oh, it's so nice to see new faces. When we last met, I asked you guys to prepare a poem that compares something that makes you feel stressed to something that makes you feel sexy. Lizzo, would you honor us by being the first?
It's that bitch o'clock, yeah, it's thick 30.
college football. We're talking USC versus Colorado. Now, the game itself, USC won this game 48-41. Okay? Shador Sanders threw 30 for 45 for 371 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. Now, my question is the media stuff over? Now, I had a conversation with somebody on Saturday. Let's dive into this. This media stuff, this war between ESPN and Fox. Okay, so Fox had the Colorado TCU matchup. Fox also had Nebraska and Colorado. That was the homecoming for Coach Sanders. Okay. ESPN had Colorado State versus Colorado, which is why I don't know why that matchup was happening. I don't understand why that matchup was happening. I don't know why game day needed to be there. In my eyes, I'm not trying to throw shade at Coach Prime, but I don't know why they needed to be at Colorado for Colorado State versus Colorado. Like, they could easily show that game on ESPN, and everybody would have watched. They would have watched a little bit. They would have watched Tennessee versus. They would have watched it anyways. I mean, they could have done Tennessee and Florida, for that matter, because it was kind of a bigger, kind of a matchup. I don't. It's not a big matchup, but it's kind of. They could have gone somewhere else, and then ESPN was there, and then no one was there, but they showed the game on ABC. They showed Colorado and Oregon on ABC, where Colorado got annihilated. Now, you talk about Fox going back to Colorado, because remember, they were there for week 2 against Nebraska, which they didn't need to be there because Nebraska's a horrible team. They were there because of Coach Prime, his homecoming. Well, being at home for the first time, having a home game. Then you go to Colorado versus USC, which, yeah, you could, because you're facing the top 10 team in the country. And honestly, to me, yeah, you should be there. But to me, USC is not a top 10 team. Look at that garbage on the field. They're not a top 10 team. I'm sorry. Maybe on offense they are, but defensively, oh my gosh. This started against Arizona State. I watched their game against Arizona State, and it was horrible defensively. They are a horrible defensive team. I don't know how you get into the college football playoff playing defense like that. Eventually, some team in the Pac-12 is going to expose you for being a horrible defensive team. So I made nothing of it. I made nothing of USC's success. I honestly think they're going to be out of the college football playoff picture. I don't think they should be considered. Playing defense like that is not attractive to me. You got to be able to play defense on it. You got to be at least play a little bit of defense. You got to be able to, just like Texas, just like Georgia, which I question their defense, by the way. I question their overall offense, but they're number 1. And USC's number 8. I have no idea. Colorado should have won this game. If they would have played, they haven't played defense in the last 2. Well, actually, the last 3. You don't give a worthless Colorado State team 35 points and a bunch of plays on offense. You don't do that at all. We gotta fix it. Colorado's gotta fix their defense. Their defense is horrible. I'm sorry. They gotta fix it. And again, it's new players. It's new players. It's whoever buys into the system it wants to be there long term. In this case, I do think I don't know. You know, we don't know if this team will stay together. I don't know. I'll be very surprised if players transfer out of Colorado. I'll be very surprised. Because what Coach Prime has built, he makes you want to stay. He makes you valued. What other college have you gone to, and I'm not talking about football or basketball, has made you feel valued? I know when I went to UNT, they made me feel valued right away. Even though I was forced to go to UNT, I felt valued. When I toured UTA back in 2008, I didn't feel that valued, even though it was closer to my house. I didn't feel valued at UTA because I wanted to play basketball, and I feel valued. So if I couldn't get valued at UTA playing college basketball, then I'm damn sure not going to get valued when I get to when I do school activity, when I do student activities with whoever, with the students. In this case, at UNT, I felt valued. TCU wasn't a question. I really wanted to go to TCU because I went to the basketball camp when I was 16 years old, but I said I didn't value TCU. I wanted to make their basketball team, but I said I wasn't valued at all. It was a lot going on at that time. But anyways, but back to this Colorado stuff. So 564 to 498. The reason being, Colorado's defense was awful, so was USC. And Caleb Williams played his butt off again. 30 for 40 for 403 yards and 60 touchdowns and interception. So, you know, if the media wants to continue to show Colorado games, fine. You know, but at the same time, you got to let these players be. You got to let the colleges be. You got to go to a college of value. Like game day, they never been to Duke before. They went to Duke last week. And it was a close game. It was good. It was a good game. I watched that game for like 30 minutes. I watched the Indy for 30 minutes. It was great. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. What else is of value? I know Colorado is of value because of Coach Prime's presence and what he has brought into the program. You got to go to where it's valued. And again, it was just too much. You got to look at the matchups too. When game day went to Jackson State last year, Southern was their matchup. You know, Southern Jackson State. They were big time HBCU colleges last year. That's why they went, because of value. You can't go because of fan perspective, which is why ESPN was at Colorado State versus Colorado. They were at Colorado because of Coach Prime's presence. They didn't care about Colorado State. They literally don't care about them. No one in that panel chose Colorado State to beat Colorado, but yet they were like a minute away from beating Colorado. Just quarterback has to play strong in front of 100,000 people. So, with that being said, for the next few games, Colorado won't be on TV they'll be on the Pac-12 network, and then they'll be on ESPN against Stanford as one of their Friday night games. But other than that, it's going to be a wait and see type of approach. If Colorado's right now is 3-2, so maybe if they win the next two to three games, then they could be back on TV. But I don't know. I don't like to use the flex to take a college football team to college game out of that and then show somebody else. Which is why UNT's not on TV anymore after the next game. But that's a different story. So really, honestly, I look at Colorado's schedule. You really don't have I looked at the next four games. You really don't have, outside of Oregon State, the next three should be a walk in the park. Arizona State, Stanford, UCLA. It should be a walk in the park for Colorado. Now, Oregon State will be another tough matchup. So if we're looking at it, they could go 6-2. Like my prediction said, I said 6-6. Somebody else said 3-9. But if they get that fourth win, hey, it's a plus. It is a major plus. But to answer your question, to answer my question, if the media stuff is over, I believe it is. I believe it is. I think we've seen enough of what these players and players and coaches can do at Colorado, but I think it's enough. I think that I do think that I want to see Colorado play with a few people watching, and also I did say that I did. Speaking of that, I saw something, and I wanted to address it real quick. They said the WNBA gets 563 views. That's a lot of people for them. For them in this, it's a lot of people. But why is he calling me while I'm on the podcast? I'm not picking this up. But anyways, I want to say this. Colorado, I'm sorry, not Colorado. I forgot my train of thought. WNBA, 563 views for a season. Or is that for a game? Is for a season, it's okay. But if we're talking about for a game, there's not a lot of people watching for a game. For a season, yes. Now, Coach Prime got over 15 million and counting watching his games from the time TCU till now. So it's concerning because for me, I want to see the WNBA succeed, but the WNBA won't succeed if it's just they won't succeed if we're doing it this way. They won't succeed if we don't have enough eyeballs. If the product says, hey, we're growing this league. Hey, we got a bunch of teams. Hey, we got this and that. Hey, we got a bunch of we got a bunch of this and that. We got a bunch of players that are coming into the league. I was thinking about this last night. I said Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark get into the draft next year. The WNBA's viewership will skyrocket up for 2024, possibly 2025, and possibly 2026. Possibly. But other than that, after 2026, I think it's going to be in the middle. If Coach Prime continues to recruit players or college football as a whole gets a little bit better, you talk about playoffs and stuff, then I think college football will run higher than the WNBA. That's what I think. I mean, I'm not trying to throw anything at the WNBA. I do think we need to improve. The WNBA needs to improve their viewership. They already have the product. The product is the players are playing every single game. They're giving out their hearts. They're making sacrifices. But in order to make those sacrifices, you got to be able to make sure that we have enough eyes watching. That means you got to take an active approach in these teams. Adding more teams. Add more teams for next season and beyond. Don't wait till 2025 and start adding these teams because that's going to make you in the middle. That's going to make people. I'll continue to watch it, but people that want to throw shade at the WNBA, they live on the rock. They're not going to watch. Their fans are not going to watch. Period. They're going to watch for the controversial stuff. So I just want to throw that out there. I know it wasn't important, but I just want to throw it out there. I'm a little concerned about the WNBA's viewership. I do think it needs a little bit better, but Coach Bryant did it in 5 games, and he's going to do it throughout the rest of the season. So I want to see a stat that has many eyeballs on Coach Prime. and Colorado. How many total does he get versus the WNBA? Now, number 2, is Texas going to be number 1 against OU? Now, I'm not even going to talk about this. This Kansas matchup is crazy. 40-14, Texas won. Quinn Ewers looks like the real deal. Okay. I value Quinn Ewers over Dylan Gabriel any day of the week. Even if Dylan Gabriel beats Texas, and I don't think he will. I have seen nothing from Dylan Gabriel. The highlights that I've seen from him, I've seen nothing that convinces me that this quarterback is beatable. I do think that Quinn Ewers is better than Dylan Gabriel. A lot better. 10 times better. 100 million times better. Because you know why? Quinn Ewers did it in one season. He said, I need to improve in the offseason. Dylan Gabriel is like, he did the same thing, but yet you're playing against worthless opponents. Texas played against Alabama, and Quinn Ewers was better. Was great that game. Even so, if Oklahoma played Alabama, Dylan Gabriel will be laying an egg right now. He will be. He will be, because there's nothing impressive that I've seen from Gabriel right now. OU fans may say otherwise. They may say, oh, he's a great quarterback. He's better than Baker or Kyler combined. Hell no. Hell no, he's not. But Quinn Ewers, he's got the game going. And I do want to see if Texas wins this game, right? If they win this game, then does Quinn Ewers, I keep calling it Ewers, get a spot in the Heisman Heisman candidate race? Does he get that spot? Because right now we can go 6-0. After this, I'm saying that Texas is a 6.5 favorite, but I'm saying it right now. Texas wins this game. It's not going to be a blowout, but it's going to be a little bit close. It's going to be closer than a blowout. But speaking of Quinn Ewers, the defense on third down, 27%, and the defense has forced 9 sacks. The tackling has been better. That's what I noticed between last year and now. The tackling they haven't given up many big plays. Because that was Texas' Achilles heel last year, is giving up big plays, especially on third down. And so they're getting much pressure to the quarterback, and even the tackling has been better. That's what I noticed. Like, we're going back to the techniques where players at Texas are grabbing 2 hands on the person and bringing them down. Instead of, the faster way now is to grab them by one hand. Or in this case, one arm to throw them down. And they say, well, that's a tackle. Jamie, that's a tackle. Oh, hell no, it's not. The old day says, hey, 2 hands, wrap up, tackle, it's over. That's what I noticed about Texas. I just want to throw that out there. Well, Texas is elite defensively. Let's see. So Texas, number 3. Texas is a remaining schedule. So this is after OU. So I just labeled the toughest games that I think that Texas may win or lose. I do see. I set eight wins before we started. Now they got OU. It's a tough matchup. Was me saying their quarterback's terrible? Okay. BYU is always a tough matchup against them. We got K-State. K-State, like I said, is always the dark horse of the Big 12 conference. And then you got TCU. We don't know what type of TCU team is going to show up. Is it going to be the one that from last year, or the team that has shown up barely this year? Barely. Barely. The same team that lost to West Virginia last year has 2 losses now. Colorado and West Virginia. Damn. Like, so whoever ran that team last year for TCU, I know the quarterback Max Duggan did. Then Chandler Morris is not that dude at all. He's not that dude. Now, do I think there's a loss between? I don't know. I know that all 4 are tough. I'm gonna say right now, BYU or K-State make it if they get through OU, right? I do think either BYU or K-State will get them fifth. I'm not concerned about TCU. I'm not concerned about that. Maybe TCU will be energized before that game because they were there where Texas was last year. If we're talking about that, if we're talking about being number 3 in the college football playoff, TCU was there last year. So if let's say Texas is number 1, right, or number 2 between now and then that November something, then TCU is going to be motivated to get up that game and do whatever they can to beat Texas at their place. That game's at their place. I don't remember what the date was. I know it's a week before Thanksgiving, but I know that TCU will be gearing up for that game. Now, you gotta know that there is a Big 12 appearance, and also the college football playoff is in sight. The appearance is in sight. The college football playoff is in sight as well. So they're both in play. So you got to remember, we got to get to both of them to consider ourselves a chance. Yes, I'm on that Texas hype train. Yes, that's why I said us, because I said, you know what, I want an elite college. I want to be around an elite university this year. North Texas has not given me that. Texas has. So I did say they're going to struggle against BYU and K-State, but I do think that OU may play a factor in that. So I know that OU is going to gear up. They're going to probably bring their 1,000 fans over here. So if you see anybody in a red jersey, they're here. They're here. They're going to brag and they're going to say, "Hey, you know, we're the best." Okay, great. We'll see what happens. Throw the ball up. All right, number 4. Let's talk about this North Texas offense, because I hate the endings on a bad note. I hate that. I should have just bumped this up to make sure that Texas gets their shine. So North Texas played against Abilene Christian on Saturday, and that matchup was a high school matchup. But again, North Texas has been playing against high school teams, high school like teams. The quality opponent was California, but then again, you played FIU, La Tech, and now Abilene Christian. All 3 of them high school teams. All 3 of them, you should have been 3-0. You should have been 3-0. So this team, if we're talking about it, we're talking about 3-1 right now. But yet you're 500. Like, what are we doing here? You're thinking you're a good team because you're at 500. Who is writing the script for y'all when y'all are getting to when y'all are going to the podium and talking this crap? Who is writing that script? You're not good enough. You're not good enough. On offense, you are. I'll give you that. On offense, you are. Chandler Rogers has shown it, has done his due. He went 23 for 36 for 321 and 3 touchdowns. He also ran the ball 7 times for 29 yards and a touchdown. So he is finding his spots. He's playing with precision, and also he hasn't turned the ball over. So he didn't turn the ball over this game. And so he does have help. He does have Ayuade. He had 13 carries for 110. He has Isaiah Johnson for 7 carries for 39 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had Jamari Macklin for 2 for 110. That was a touchdown receiving wise. Damon Ward 3 for 41, 2 touchdowns, and Landon Size 5 receptions for 61 yards. So My question would be, does North Texas have the best wide receiver room in the AAC? I can't name all the wide receivers in the AAC because I don't know that conference. Now I want to get a taste of that conference when North Texas plays Navy next, which is another tough matchup on the road. So, with that being said, this offense is going to continue to shine. This offense is going to be continue to shine under Chandler Rogers. But then again, you got to be able to face adversity. So if there's a turnover that happens, then you got to be able to recover that. And this defense, I'm not trusting this defense anymore. So I trust Chandler Rogers to keep the ball in his hands, keep moving the sticks. I trust them because they will never address their defensive issues, which is my next point. My next point is defense. That's my last point. I hate the fact that this little-ass team got their quarterback, Maverick MacGyver. He went 19 for 36 for a 217, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. Javon Sunday, he had 21 carries for 140 yards. And then you had Blaine Taylor, the receiver. He had 6 receptions for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, they gave up 387 yards to total offense. Not bad. Wasn't that bad. It was decent. Then they gave up 31 points to a lesser opponent. Okay, Abilene Christian is not a Big 5 conference. Now I can understand a Power 5. Yes, if you give 31, yes, because they're a tougher team. You beat them. They're a tougher team. You beat them. But lesser teams like Abilene Christian that we're never going to hear from till next season when they play against some other Texas team, or if they win a national championship for that matter, we're never going to hear from them. But yet, it's like North Texas goes in there and lays an egg defensively. And this is why you are the worst defense in the entire college football. I don't like this defense. I hate it. Someone should be fired in that defensive room. Somebody should. I'm tired of being last. I'm tired of it. What are we doing being last on defense? Are we not tackling? This is all scheme. This is all scheme that we're talking about. You don't give that team 31 points. You don't give La Tech 37 points. And you definitely don't give FIE 46 points. Like, come on, man. Give me something to work with. You don't do this every single game. I look at Texas. They're giving 14 points. It's unfortunate Alabama gave up 24 points. It's okay. It's okay. You know why? Because Alabama's going to score. Okay? They're going to score. All right? You're not going to beat Alabama by 35 points. They're going to score points. As long as Saban's the head coach. Like every game, how to say, anybody in that top 25, they'll give up 30 points. But I'm damn sure the next day they're not going to give up 30 points again. Because you know why? Because they take the defense seriously. North Texas, you do not take defense seriously. You're not going to address your scheme. You're not going to address the poor tackling. You're definitely not going to address the communication in the secondary. So, and you're not going to address the defensive coordinator. How the defensive coordinator came out and spoke to the media. How's he came out and said, you know what? It's my fault for putting these guys in positions. Has Eric Morris talked about the defense? And now everything is relaxed. Everything's like a days ago. Now we're going to give up. Now we're going to continue to give up points on defense. Yards, points, yards, everything. We're going to make their quarterback look good. Lesser quarterbacks in our conference and beyond. You're going to make them look great against us. But yet, y'all say we're a good defense. Who is writing the script for y'all? Who is doing this? I want to know who is doing this so that I can talk to them and say, stop writing the script for them. Let the players be honest. Give me some honest answers, please. At least give me some clarity. why are you playing so fucking useless on defense? And I can use that word because you know why? I'm tired of seeing this defense give up yards and points. I'm tired of them driving. That was not a tough team you played against on Saturday. That was not you spotted them 31 points in the first half. In the first half. And then when I heard on the radio they got the 17 points, I said this team has a chance. They just need to play defense. I'm talking about Abilene Christian. They just need to play defense. They need to pressure the quarterback. All it is, just getting that defense to stop. That's it. Game over. But Abilene Christian says, no, we're going to give it the game. There's not one positive thing I can say on this defense for North Texas. The only semi-positive I could say right now, is that we have players playing. That's all I gotta say. I really don't care about the interceptions. I really don't care about the fumble recoveries at this point in time. I care about what's going to happen. Well, not only do I care about the players playing, but I also care about what's going to happen next game. Are we going to pressure these lesser quarterbacks? Because that quarterback there didn't have to beat y'all. He almost did. But yet, it's like you gave that team 31 points. You gave that running back 140 yards. You gave that quarterback a decent passing rating. You gave one receiver 3 touchdowns. But you could put them away in the second half. Second half, you came out with 14 points. I don't like looking at these numbers. I really don't. I tend not to be a numbers guy. I tend to be a guy that got on the field guy. What's happening in the North Texas secondary? What's happening in their front seven? Why we're not getting enough pressure on anybody? Period. That's anybody, not this quarterback, but anybody. Why are we not doing this? We're killing ourselves, and we're going to continue to hurt ourselves if we don't get this fixed right now. Something needs to change. Now, if North Texas wins the next 4 games, I'm not looking at. I'm sorry. If they beat Navy, right? What would we really say? If they say, you know what, we're going to give Navy 35 points, but yeah, we scored 43 points. I'll still be saying the same damn thing every single week, the same frustration every single week, till we bait a better opponent. Right now, we don't have great opponents on our schedule. But yeah, we got to play against them to make ourselves look good, to make ourselves relevant, to put us in position to play in a bowl game at the end of the year. So how do we do that? Versus now, we got 8 games left. Now it's all consecutive. But then again, you have a mini bye at the SMU game in November. So I just have a lot of questions. And they won't answer those questions for me because it's always going to be about the offense. It's always going to be about Eric Morris and what his philosophies are. And his philosophies, to me, looking at the personality, because I'm not in that room every single day. To me, it's not good enough. It's not good enough on my as far as what this coach's standards are. It's not good enough for me. And this is why y'all are going to continue to struggle on defense. And yet, somebody who plays both sides, who plays defense, is going to expose y'all one day. And hopefully it could be this game, could be the next game, whoever. I just wish you had a plan B. If there's a plan B to fix this defense, let's fix it now. We can't go to this embarrassment into this conference like this. I will not allow it. I won't. But the good thing is that as the next game, we don't have to watch y'all on TV. I'll just figure out a way to watch y'all because I care. Now, guys, that's it for our show today. Now, next week, I think we have a guest, but I had to confirm. I had to go find him, so I had to go reach out to him and see if he's still coming on. And also, we're going to definitely dive into the 49ers versus Cowboys game. What did we learn? And also, I want to give you a recap of Game 1 of the WNBA Finals and preview Game 2. And a bunch of other stuff as well, college football-wise. All right, but I didn't want to talk about the trade because I'm going to leave that for I'm going to leave that for the next episode, which is around mid-October. So I'm going to leave that for mid-October when I talk about the trade with Dame and the Bucks. So I'm going to talk about that mid-October. So give me another 2 weeks. I'll talk about that and plus more when we talk about the NBA season coming up. All right, guys. I want to thank y'all for listening and watching to this podcast. Find me on all socials, and I will talk to y'all later. So see y'all on the next episode Beyond the Game podcast on Fishbowl Radio.
Hey world, this is Jamie, host of the Jamie and Genty Show, broadcasting live each week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios. Log on to hear sports talk from basketball to football and view your feedback on the biggest sports news you want to talk about from around the world. So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamie and Genty Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.